network in Freetown. Hello. Welcome to our top stories, making a local news bulletin. I am Leonora Jawala. First, we have a look at the headlines. Former Vice President Elijah Samuel Samsumana calls on the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone to extend the registration process beyond the current stipulated time.
Feel good for register again, as me right, as every Sierra Leonean right, and that I think this type of process follow vote for who we want, now what who we want, now we constituency, and who we want as president for decide the future of this country.
Sierra Leone's UN Security Council seats bid in the non-permanent category for 2024-2025 was in principle endorsed by ECOWAS Council of Ministers and Summit of Heads of States in Accra, Ghana in June 2021, according to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor D.B. Francis.
Today is an important day in Sierra Leone's diplomatic trajectory, because today we come to the world to tell the story of Sierra Leone's perseverance.
European Union's large and 50-50 group embarked on beach cleanup exercise to raise awareness.
Very happy that today, together with our Sierra Leonean friends and other partners of the international community, we have had a beach cleanup here in Lumley. The European Union does this worldwide with all its delegations because it's important to protect the oceans.
This Blue Sports comes up shortly. Other news in detail. Former Vice President Elijah Samuel Samsumana, when registering at Old School Hill Station in Freetown, has joined the chorus of voices calling on the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone to extend the registration process beyond the current stipulated time, noting that it will compensate for the lost time incurred as a result of the many logistical and technical challenges that plague the registration process. Alfred Bali reports.
Saturday, October 1st was clearly a very busy weekend for the former Vice President of the Republic. He embarked on a flurry of activities after a long absence in the country, honoring invites to either serve as keynote speaker on either good governance or back in highly prestigious awards for what world leaders have attributed to him as being a very standout leader. During his registration at Old School that came with a lot of fanfare, Chief Alhaji Samsumana noted that he deliberately left his registration this late in order for him to get a comprehensive grasp of the process.
Feel good for register again, as me right, as every Sierra Leonean right, and that I think this type of process follow vote for who we want, now what who we want, now we constituency, and who we want as president for decide the future of this country. I come observe the process, I see how the structures there. I notice party representative, then the ECSL officials, then they do their work. People then in line, people then they around. Even people then on the side for provide food for the people there. Very interesting. But I notice some issues then there around people then documentation with them questioning them, but they say they will give the opportunity for do and back. And looking at it, I think the process is ongoing. We've been getting challenges before, but I see today I not see I face any problem.
When asked what could be his assessment of the process so far, the former Vice President was quick to join the chorus of voices calling on the Electoral Commission to extend the registration process for what the chief called the lost time that was accumulated as a result of so many technical and logistical hitches that plagued the process.
To fellow Sierra Leoneans, you will notice I not register quick. So people go concerned, say why make me not register quick? The fact is, they say in all of this, lead by example. So Mango wants to allow register a long time ago, but I decided not to register early because I want to observe the process. A lot of complaints don't come from about the process, and I noticed that the process then questions, and they gradually ECSL they try to address her. But I also decided not to register earlier because I want to send a message to fellow Sierra Leoneans that indeed no one should be left behind. Everybody should come out to register. That the other part to run is that I want to let ECSL and the government know say in the beginning when the process been start, not only in Freetown but other parts of the country, delay been there. Not to the people that fault. Now ECSL technical problems we them face within the learning process as an developing country. But so if you don't happen, wait not to the public them fault, let ECSL, what they call NEC Trade, let them see reason for add more time because not them being caused the delay. We're not to really out of them control. So if they're not be able to register people there earlier, they'll compensate by adding more time for let the other people there for register.
Chief Alhaji Samsumana concluded by calling on all eligible voters to go out in droves and fulfill what he called the democratic right, which he reckoned is cardinal to the future of the country.
And I want to make sure say that I send this message to my people then that no one should be left behind because you vote, it counts. Everyone vote counts. Everyone vote counts. You one vote, then go make the president of this country. You one vote, then go make the honorable member of parliament of this country. You one vote, then go give you the mayor, then go give you the council chairman, then go give you the councillor. We go able for take you issues them out. The government able for decide how to rule the country. So once more, we are all Sierra Leoneans. This is not a very critical time in our history. As long as we find the problems of yesterday for the last 4 or 5 years now, this is not the time for law show with grievance in a civil way. Yeah. So thank you all fellow Sierra Leoneans. One man, one vote. Transparency and accountability in the 2023.
For Star TV News in Freetown, Alfie Barry reporting.
Professor David Francis has informed his colleague foreign ministers of the African Union that Sierra Leone's United Nations Security Council seat bid in the non-permanent category for 2024-2025 was in principle endorsed by the Economic Community of West African States, Council of Ministers and Summit of Heads of States in Accra, Ghana in June 2021. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor David Francis, delivered a speech on the country's readiness to contribute towards global peace and security.
For delivering the welcome remarks. We now move on to statements, and I do have the distinguished honor to invite the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Sierra Leone, Professor David J. Francis, to deliver a statement.
Today is an important day in Sierra Leone's diplomatic trajectory, because today we come to the world to tell the story of Sierra Leone's perseverance, Sierra Leone's resilience, Sierra Leone's successful transition from a country that was once at war to a country that is now a strong, democratic, liberal, progressive, and peaceful state. A country that is committed to the rule of law, to inclusive development. A country that is now an iconic example of successful state building and peace building, peacemaking, transitional justice, and post-war state reconstruction. That is the story of Sierra Leone today. Your Excellencies, you've just heard the permanent representative saying that Sierra Leone became the 100th member of the United Nations. And in less than a decade, Sierra Leone was already at the UN Security Council, the most powerful deliberative body of the United Nations system. 50 years absence, Sierra Leone is back on the global stage. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are running under the theme Partnership, Multilateralism, and Representative Approach to Sustain Global Peace and Security. And this theme is inspired by 7 key priorities. Your Excellencies, Sierra Leone's vision for a sustained global peace and security rooted in its firm commitment to international cooperation based on multilateral, rule-based world order, and a Security Council that provides for equitable representation across all regions of the world. We thus see the need for partnership using a representative approach to maintaining international peace and security. And this, Your Excellencies, represents our first priority. But of course, the importance of peacemaking and peacekeeping in maintaining international peace and security is very much well documented in the context of Sierra Leone. For without international peacekeeping and peacemaking, Sierra Leone would not be in the position of peace, security, and stability today. Because that was what helped the transformation and the end of the bloody civil war some 20 years ago. So our experience as a country that successfully emerged from war and became a success case of post-war state building and state reconstruction, a country that was able to break the conflict trap, is an invaluable asset we aim to share with countries like Ukraine, countries like Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, South Sudan. We want to bring this valuable experience to the rest of the world. And this is why we are pursuing peacemaking and peace building as a priority for Sierra Leone in the Security Council. And we hope that you will partner with us in adopting multilateral and representative approach with the view of sustaining global peace and security. And let me conclude by thanking our very special friends who have supported us through the journey of the candidacy, of the nomination process, of the campaign, and of the election process as we embark on this one. And I thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Professor Francis.
The World Health Organization in 2019 calls for a reduction in plastic pollution to benefit the environment and reduce human exposure. Many countries around the world are fighting to end the menace of plastic pollution in the ocean. In Sierra Leone, the story of plastic pollution is not different from others as a struggle to save and protect the environment from this menace. Now, in a bid to raise awareness for the general public to know the importance of protecting our coastal line from plastic pollution, the European Union, Sierra Leone, in collaboration with the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists and 50/50 Group, has on Saturday, 1st October, organized a beach cleanup exercise at the Aberdeen-Lumley Beach. Star TV covered the program and spoke to various stakeholders on the significance of the exercise.
Very happy that today, together with our Sierra Leonean friends and other partners of the international community, we have had a beach cleanup here in Lumley. The European Union does this worldwide with all its delegations because it's important to protect the oceans. It's important that we all see it as our responsibility, especially the youth. The youth can do a lot. We have so much plastics into the ocean. We have so much waste which comes worldwide to the beaches, and if we clean it, we can help to save this high touristic potential which is there. And this is a duty of everyone. Also, we have the duty to think of what kind of litter we are producing. We produce so much plastic litter, and all this plastic litter, which is then perhaps not well recycled, can go to the oceans. That's not good. So I'm very happy that together with the Freetown City Council and the National Tourism Board, in the presence of so many other actors of civil society, of the government, of the armed forces, of the Ministry of Tourism and other international missions, we put together here with more than 500 people do this beach clean to show that everyone can do something. Everyone can be a volunteer at the place where he is. And I thank all those who came today and who helped us together to do something for the...
We are today for can support the European Union, the annual beach clean-up event. They do it every year, and every year Sludge they support them because we know say Sludge being a media and the role of the media, we have three things that we do for every kind over there. One, now we create the awareness. Let people know say we all get responsibility to protect the environment, especially the sea, the ocean. They dump so many things there inside the water for the plastic there, all that thing they will for inside the marine. Then number two, we also the mobilize action. When I see the media, we mobilize action, automatic action to say this is our responsibility, don't do something. And we also track policy implementation in relation to the environment. Government don't sign up to the sustainable development goals then. One part then for protect the environment. And so what thing government they do? What the Minister of Environment they do? What thing the EPA they do? So now we acknowledge the responsibility for the monitor then their programs and they get under the environment, how far they don't go with them, and highlight the challenges and the gaps. And we also propose solutions to the one and Then number four, we also for lead advocacy. The media and the advocacy, let people are aware, we create more resources and let more people put attention. They say if we not protect the environment, if we not prevent from harm, it costs to be harm, and we have to suffer. So that's why we see that this is what it calls and Sludge for identify with her. And not to pay the pay all the members already also all as Sludge members them. So they can every year they can do one. I hope say going into the future we get more resources which we do for ourselves. Not go wait for it.
The Chief Executive Officer, Redeemer Media Network, Pastor Francis A.M. Mambo, has received the prestigious Global Humanitarian Leadership Award from the African Caribbean Faith-Based Leadership Conference. Adonis Francis has the details and in our reports.
The Chief Executive Officer of Redeemer Network, Pastor Francis A.M. Mambo, on Thursday, 29 September 2022, received the prestigious Global Humanitarian Leadership Award from the African and Caribbean Faith-Based Leadership Conference. He stands out as the only Sierra Leonean international honoree at the 2022 African and Caribbean International Leadership Conference, an award in Washington, D.C. Receiving the award with delight at the award gala, Pastor Francis A.M. Mambo dedicated the award to all Sierra Leoneans, stating that he feels very honored and grateful to God for such an honor. It means a lot, not just to me, but my country, Sierra Leone.
I feel very honored tonight, to receive this Global Leadership Award. I'm grateful to God and also for the leadership of the African Caribbean Conference headed by Dr. DK. He visited me last year and we went around, we saw all the activities that by God's grace, God has been helping me to carry out for our country, Sierra Leone. It's a blessing. And I'm here tonight on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. I want to dedicate this award also all Sierra Leoneans and to all Africans.
The event this year, which was held in collaboration with the United States 51st Annual Legislative Conference, ALC, of the Congressional Black Caucus Convention, brought together leaders across the globe to honor the accomplishments of diplomats, elected officials, civic leaders, faith and diaspora leaders who are engaged in humanitarian work, advocates for social justice and religious liberty, people who are the pillars of society, making a difference in the diaspora and around the globe. For Star News, Adonis Francis reporting.
Now, a report says the one-day lockdown in the township of Kenema aimed at creating space for residents residents in the district to go and register has met its clear objective. A man on the ground, James Jamil Fatoma, takes up the story.
The registration process in Kenema took a different turn of events when a lockdown of the city was announced by the mayor, Thomas Karimo Bandabla Bayo, and declared Friday, September 30, 2020, as Kenema Day of Registration. This, he said, was as a result of a collective stakeholders meeting that brought together the Bike Riders Union, the Traders Union, including the Paramount Chief of Nongwa Chiefdom, PC Sadiq Kapua Matu IV. The content said there should be no economic activities across the board except for banking transactions. It further stipulated that schools should be shut to allow pupils who are eligible to register, but another statement from the District Council Chairman, Mohamed O-Level Sise, contradicted the former, and the schools were left to make a choice of their own. It also added that proof of registration should be provided at all checkpoints in and out of the city by all travelers. In response, several criticisms from certain groups and prominent individuals describing the directives as unconstitutional and thus infringe on the human rights of citizens. But the authorities reacted, stating it is also the responsibility of citizens to register and vote in elections, and what they have done is to just provide a platform and enabling environment. How did the district get to this stage? Many people here have earlier expressed their dissatisfaction over their political representatives and government appointees from the district. They are described to be selfish and greedy and to have lost touch with the grassroots people, with some threatening not to register or neither cast ballots when elections come knocking. The turnout at the registration centers was not pleasing to the eyes of the authorities here, considering the midterm population and housing census results that placed the district as the most populated in the country. Did they achieve their set goals? A question I put to the city mayor, Thomas Bayo.
I'm grateful to our people in the Kenema district, and more especially the city, Kenema City, for the wonderful job they did for us that day of Kenema Day of Registration. A lot of turnout was there, and then it was very, very much encouraging. We deemed it necessary that our people were indeed ready to register that day. So we achieved a lot. All lines were queued up, large numbers of people. We were able to achieve our goal that particular day. Kudos to Kenema District and kudos to Kenema City people who did that work for us that day. It was colorful that day to see. Great work done by people of Kenema District. Great work to the authorities of Kenema District and all politicians who...
Bayo added that the call to register was not segregated on the basis of a political party, tribe, or region, but the civic right of every Sierra Leonean to do so. During my tour of some of the centers I visited, party agents, mainly the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, and the APC, the All People's Congress, all gave a clean bill of health to the exercise. The Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, ECSL staff said the turnout was encouraging and the challenges posed by the malfunctioning of the computer machines and underage registration have been surmounted. The second and final phase of the registration ends on Tuesday, October 4, 2020, and the race is now against time. Will all these efforts and attempts be translated into votes? Then the anger of the voters have to be quenched and given very, very strong assurances. For Star TV, James Jamil Fatoma reporting.
And to round up our news bulletin, let's join our sports correspondent, Hilton John, for some sporting news.
Thanks, Lilina John. Welcome to the sporting news. Good news for Sierra Leone in the ongoing ICC World Cup Division 2 qualifiers competition in Nigeria, as Sierra Leone under-19 men's cricket team succeeded in the second match against Botswana by 6 wickets. According to the chairman of the association, who is Francis Samoa, despite the government is not giving support to the association, but he had 311 things to fly the green, white and blue and come home with positive results. Here is the report.
The Sierra Leone under-19 men's cricket team, the Junior Patriots of Sierra Leone, secured a massive win against Botswana in the fifth match of the ICC Men's Under-19 Cricket World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifier in Abuja, Nigeria. Having won the toss and elected to bowl first, Sierra Leone's superior bowling firepower was enough to reduce Botswana to a total of 66 all out in 24-45 overs. Eric Musa Touré's masterclass spin bowling helped Sierra Leone to secure its second victory out of 2 matches in the competition. Eric Musa Touré won Man of the Match award, having bowled 6.3 overs, took 6 wickets for 15 runs. Sierra Leone replied with 68 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Captain Jim Bangura wrapped 47 of 41 balls, not out with a strike rate of 114.63. Sierra Leone won by 8 wickets and secured qualification to the semi-finals for the first time in history in the country's cricket history. Sierra Leone will play Nigeria in the third and final match of Group B, a match that will determine the winner and runner-up of Group B. Chairman of the Sierra Leone Cricket Association, Francis Samoa, called on the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Sport, the National Sport Authority, to provide support for the Sierra Leone cricket. He said they travel without getting a single dime from the government of Sierra Leone. A call on the Honorable Minister of Sport, Ibrahim Yelenke, and the Executive Director of Sport, Dr. Kenneth Brimer, to provide more support for cricket, as they are one of the best sporting discipline in the country. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Hilton John reporting.
So this is awesome for sporting disciplines, more especially in cricket. They are doing well, they are triumphant in the ongoing ICC Under-19 World Cup Division 2 qualifiers in Nigeria. We wish them all the best in the final match coming up against Nigeria. Away from cricket, in football, popular philanthropist, he is also a businessman, Alhaji Usman Kamara, based in the southern region of Bo, has supported the female bond with 15 million yuans, 50,000 new yuans, as part of his support, more especially from the point of his wife, Madam K. Kamara, who is serving as head of female football in the ESCO of the Football Association Executive. He said he wants to see more development in female football, more especially his wife has passion for the game. Here is the report.
A popular businessman and sport philanthropist, Alhaji Usman Kamara, who based in the southern region of Bo and in Freetown, husband of the ESCO member at the Sierra Leone Football Association Executive, head of female football, Madam Ramke Kamara, has donated 50 million yuans to the Sierra Leone Premier League Board. The Sierra Leone Premier League Board was constituted by the executive of the Sierra Leone Football Association, headed by Thomas Dada Brimer, charged with the responsibility of running female football in the country. And they will kickstart the Female League for the first time in history officially on the 15th of October 2022. According to the philanthropist and a businessman, this is part of his support on behalf of his family and his wife, who has passion for the development of football in the country by giving out 50 million yuans to the Sierra Leone Premier League Board.
One, for obvious reasons. Number one of the obvious reasons is that because my wife an ESCO member, and a head of the female football. So anything for do with female football, we get for support as a family and as support to my wife. We mean a member of that family, head of that family for I get for support them. So now one of the support them I don't do now.
What kind of support you give to the board?
Yeah, last week, few days ago, I began meeting with cross-section of the female board. We're headed by Asma James. We as a family donate the sum of 50 million leons, old leons. We're now on 50,000 new leons. Where we tell them, say, first week of this month, we don't begin today, the 2nd October, before the 10th, we're supposed for them pay that money to them.
He added much is expected from the board, headed by Madam Hasma James of Radio Democracy 98.1 as the chairperson. Maintained that this Premier League board will organize one of the best league and encourage other philanthropies, corporate institutions to give support to the board.
The female league, they organize for the whole country. And as I tell you, that my wife is head of the female football. So we just support them for CC succeed in that field. And for sure, if you don't think we know the area about female competition or female league, I think that the first in some years back from all last area and now with the area, and that means the female football the move, and we the support, and at the call on Sierra Leoneans them, Lord put a hand on deck and support the female football, because we can say if we educate one girl child, you educate a nation. So in that same vein, if we support the female football, if we get one professional female footballer, definitely it could be somebody in Peking, it could be other person in Mama, it could be other person in sister, and the whole nation would not help in that direction.
So what do you expect from the competing teams then? We get for take part in the competition finally.
I tell you, say I resident in Abo,
Yeah.
And they support all the teams that will come up with one that trophy in our back, just like how the Bo Rangers they bring their own trophy now.
Meanwhile, the Premier League board, headed by Madam Hasma James, will receive the check this week. For Star TV Sports, I am Elton John reporting.
So this is a timely boost for the female board by Alhaji Usman Kamara, who is a businessman. The league will kickstart on the 18th of this month, 2022. Congratulations to the businessman for his unflinching support to the development of football. So that's all for sports. For today's news, back to you, Leonard Joy, in the studio once more. Congratulations to the Sierra Under 19 boys. We're flying the green, white, and blue with a positive mark in Nigeria.
Well, these are the stories we have for you today in the local news bulletin file. Many thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. I am Leonora Jawara. Just stay with us for more interesting programs coming up.